we're gonna fast forward to 2019. A new haunted house had just opened the previous year. Me and my cousin actually went through it. Okay, we went through the house, this newer house, in 2018 when it first opened, and it was pretty interesting. Like, they had different rooms as well, but it was like really nicely laid out, and it was just a good time. And especially the clown room, I was in love with the clown room. Did I mention I love clowns? Me going through that house with my cousin, I'm thinking, I might want to try scary again. So that was from 2018. Now go to 2019. I went to the orientation. We didn't have to audition. I don't think we did. No, we didn't have to audition. And I got in. I expressed like maybe where I wanted to work. I wanted to give the clown room a try, but I was new, so I didn't want to like say, you know, I want to work here and here and here. So I was willing to go with wherever they wanted me. And they put me in the swinging head room. It's like there's like right before my area, because I'm like in a hallway with swinging heads, and it's like a swampy area, so it's kind of like from the first year I worked in a bayou. It was kind of reminiscent of that. I was wearing like this spider web poncho. I had all these eyes glued to my face, and I was like, ooh, I look crazy. So there was a witch in front of me. It was an animatronic witch. That was like my signal that people were coming. So what I would do is I would like go up against the wall because I'm wearing all black, and I would literally pop out of nowhere. And at first I started speaking regular English, like saying, "Yee, welcome to my swamp," and then all of a sudden I just started saying, yeah, I started speaking gibberish. That was gibberish. So every time I would go into, I would work in that hallway, I'd be screaming and yelling and gibberish, like, and my supervisor's like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I just do. Like, I guess if it helps, I had a starter word. My starter word that I noticed I said a lot was sem. And then everything else just flowed out like, and then I expressed wanting to work in the clown room, and they said, oh yeah, sure, we'll give it a try. And then they had somebody else in the swinging head room, but they wanted that person to speak in gibberish too because they loved what I did with that character. But no one could do what I did. Like, nobody could speak in gibberish. I'm like, I thought everybody could. I thought this was something that, maybe it's something to do with me because I grew up, you know, Christian and speaking in tongues. I didn't think I spoke tongues that well, but I was listening to my aunties and my grandmas and, you know, people in the church speak in tongues. So maybe that's how I'm able to do it. I don't know. It's just something I've always been able to do. But so I was in a few nights. I was working in the swinging head room as the witch doctor, and then other nights I was in the clown room, and I was, what did I name my clown? LaCavity. That's right. I named my character LaCavity, and LaCavity was in like this candy themed room, and it had swinging Tootsie Rolls and the other candies, Tootsie Rolls and, was it Starburst? Like, you know, little wrappers, they were just inflatables. It was inflatables, and they were hanging and swinging. And anytime people came through and they touched my candy, and I had this axe, I'm like, don't touch my candy! Don't touch my candy! Don't touch my candy! That's my candy! I had so much fun with that! I was also doing a lot of tag teaming too with other clowns, and it was just so much fun. I loved it. But the people, my supervisors, really loved me in the swinging head room, like, severely. And because, again, I was literally the one person who could speak gibberish, and they loved the gibberish. They wanted to keep the gibberish speaking there. So one week I was working in the swinging heads, the other week I was working in the clown room, and the last week I was working back in the swinging head room. I missed the clown room. I felt like I was more energetic there, but I did feel more comfortable in my character in the swinging head room as the voodoo doctor. 2019, my confidence grew again, and I had the best time working there. I couldn't wait to go back, and we even won awards. These are the little medals I won. So from 2019, I was most valuable actor. This was a participation one. It says 2019 on it. And then I won Monster Mouth because of my gibberish. Because, yeah, I won Monster Mouth because everybody loved my gibberish. Nobody else could do it but me. I was also voted crowd favorite for 1 week. They all, again, I'm guessing it was, again, from me being the gibberish. Like, nobody could understand what I was saying. Like, customers would come through and like, oh my God, I don't know what you're saying. Stop getting it. I don't know what you're saying. It was so much fun. The 2020 participation. We'll get to 2020 in a minute. I was also voted Creepy Peep. Actually, I think this is from 2020. Oh, I'm also very dedicated. I won very dedicated 2 times in a row, 2019 and 2020. Now, we're getting to 2020. Y'all should know what happened during 2020. COVID, shutdowns. What are we gonna do for Halloween season if the governor says no scaring people? I was a little heartbroken in case, like, the governor said no haunted houses open. But, you know, we want people to be safe. And we were hoping it would pass, the whole coronavirus would pass by then. But it was not going anywhere anytime soon. When the governor didn't mention anything about haunted houses being closed, thank God, we had to cut some roles. My role in the swinging head room as the witch doctor got cut. But they still wanted me back because, you know, I'm a very enthusiastic person. I also have a very unique voice. And, you know, I love those people there. They're just the best. They're the best. I love my coworkers at the haunted house. They're the best. I miss them so much. We had to either like wear facial mask or a face shield. I'm an expressive actor with my face. So I opted to wear the face shield. And I was also, since my role was cut, and some people weren't returning because they didn't want to catch the corona, I was, my number one option was to be in this clown room because the clown room was like the crown jewel of the place. It's just, we all love it. And, but then I also said I'm also free to work in the front room. And they told us that in the first night, you know, just to not spread disease anywhere in case anyone, you know, was feeling ill. Like, you know, if you're feeling ill, you're gonna go home. But they wanted to keep us in one area for the rest of the season. So my first night, I was actually working in the front room where I bring in the guests and, you know, have them listen to the rules of this talking head. That's the first room in the house. And I was kind of like the butler. I had a top hat on and a trench, not a trench coat, but like this coat with some tails. And I had, my face was all white and I had blood dripping down my face. It looked awesome. And I decided to utilize my gibberish in there. And I had this stick that was bzzz. So I decided to use my gibberish to lure people in, and they enjoyed it. But we had somebody else take over that role, and I was placed back in the clown room. So but I did work in the front room maybe 2 more nights between the seasons, especially I was partnered with another coworker because, you know, they just needed the help because it was gonna be a crazy busy night. Sweetest Day, if anybody knows what the holiday is, Sweetest Day, it's like fall Valentine's Day. That was a crazy night, crazy busy night. So they needed me to be in the front room with that person. But for the most part, I was in the clown room, and I was once again LaCavity, but I was boosted up to like head actor, as in I was in the first room. Like, I was in the first room. I had a lot more dialogue. Again, I was working with clowns and stuff. We were bouncing off each other. So most of the time I was in the front room, and then sometimes I would switch to go to the candy room with another clown, but most of the nights, again, I was in the front room. And then other nights when we had enough clowns, I was the roaming clown. And I would go from zone or area to area. Like the clown part, the clown room is the biggest part. Sometimes I would cut, when they're about to leave the clown room, I would cut in front of them like, surprise! Or if I had a hammer with me, I would say, I want to play whack-a-mole, and then I cut in front of them again. I said I wanted to play whack-a-mole, whack-a, 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 and just chased them out. It was just the best. So even though I had the face shield and stuff, and, you know, I tried my best to keep 6 feet apart from people, because I was like on top of the stage and I would be swinging. And actually I did a lot of swinging in the candy room because I put a little chair and then just like, surprise, or whee, and like, hello. Like, seriously, my voice would be really high and then would freak them. Like, they would just back up and like bam, right into the wall. It wasn't my fault, it was theirs. So yeah, so that was my latest year working on haunted house. So I very much intend on working back in my same haunted house because, again, the staff there is great. My coworkers are awesome. And I just have a grand time scaring people. Like, I've been wanting to work in a haunted house even before 2011. I've always wanted to give it a try. I just didn't have enough time because I was in school, i.e. college, and, you know, just doing things. And again, it's just something that I signed up for, and, you know, I stuck with it. So I don't know how much longer I will be able to scare, because I'm now 30. I'll be 31 this coming Halloween. And my joints are not as what they used to be when I was 20 something. So we'll see. I want to continue scaring, I really do. So who knows, maybe I'll do this well into my 60s and have my future kids work with me. But thank you guys for joining me in my little haunted house story time. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and don't forget to check out my TikToks. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification, and I will see you guys whenever I feel like it. Bye!